Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, episode 150. Tonight, we're joined by our friend Barry to talk about some Premium Edition games from their latest direct over at Premium Edition Games. Plus, there's been a new Zelda trailer. There's some crazy stuff going down with Russia, a whole bunch of game announcements, and the Mario movie is smashing the box office. We're talking all of that and more. Well, greetings, fellow Nintendo pals. My name is Andross, and I am joined this week by two of the coolest gentlemen on the internet. First off, we've got Micah.
Yep.
And Micah's a regular here. It's like he's a co-host on this show or something. Micah, I gotta ask, how the heck are you?
Doing pretty good.
That's great to hear. But we are also joined by our buddy, Barry Carenza. Barry, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks so much for having me
Man,
again.
long time no see. We
Well, I
haven't seen
know.
you in forever. It's been like
You
a
know,
whole 3 days or 2 days.
2 days. 2 days. Yeah.
For those that haven't checked it out, our friends over at Barely a Gaming Podcast had all three of us on their show this week, where we argued about Nintendo characters being the best, or not Nintendo, gaming
Just
characters
gaming characters.
being the best at different things. It's a good time. Everybody should check out that podcast. Great guys
Mhm.
over there.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Well, I like to kick off the episode with a random question. And this one, I don't know if you guys will have one of these offhand, but what was the last meltdown that you witnessed? Contemplative. Barry lives close to New York City. I feel like that probably happens pretty regularly there.
I mean, I don't really remember the last one I've actually seen in person. I mean, if you're talking online, it's pretty much every day on social media, right? But
It's true.
but in terms of in person, I I can't remember the last time I've seen one. Really, I haven't seen one in a long time.
Yeah, probably the last one I witnessed was my own children taking
Yep.
them places, because that happens on occasion when they're very, very tired. We had a moment. I don't even remember the context of this, but my son just had a complete meltdown in the store. Yeah, this is gonna embarrass him someday when he listens to this in the distant future. And I had to take him out to the car. Like it was that bad. He was just flailing, screaming.
Over what?
I don't remember. He wanted to get in the cart or something, and one of the other kids was in. It was it, it wasn't that. There was a lot of build up to that moment, I think. But it was, straw that broke the camel's back. That's what I try and think when I see people having absolute meltdowns in public, especially when I see kids having a meltdown. I'm like, this isn't just and you feel for the parents.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes you feel for the kids because the parents are like clearly not nice. So yeah, didn't mean to make that sad. Micah, you got any meltdowns?
Well, yeah, myself was just trying to think back to the last time I interacted with small children, because that's probably when the last meltdown was.
See, I saw this video today. This is like an old video. I have no idea when this went up. It's like a guy in Britain who formerly worked for BBC was yelling at people performing a citizen's arrest. He was trying to perform a citizen's arrest for a near car crash. And he's like, "This is a citizen's arrest." He was yelling, freaking out, and this guy's like, "What are you? What? Like, what? what do you want? What do you want me to do? You want me to like die? Like?" And the guy's like, "Yes, I want you dead. Get back in your car before." And it was like crazy stuff. The real crazy part was he wasn't involved in the incident. He saw it from another spot on the road. He wasn't even one of the cars that was almost hit. Bonkers. People are crazy.
That is insane.
Road rage. Road rage will
Road
get
rage.
you.
That's probably the biggest one I see here is road rage, but you really can't see inside the cars all the time. You just see it like from a
Oh, the
distance.
honking.
The honking for sure.
The honking and the gunning it around.
Yeah.
I think I shared this story on a Pals Plus where we like almost got hit by a car that just blew through a red light, and then we just heard whoop whoop, and a police car comes around the corner right as and it's like, "Get him, yeah!" Quick
Now here's
justice.
a question: if you were a cop and you drove around your car, and if you saw something like that, and you had those lights you put on the roof to pull people over, how many times do you think in, like, let's say a week, you would pull that light out and arrest people, or at least give them tickets due to traffic violations?
Oh man, that's a good question because I see people do stuff all the time, right? It's wild. It's wild how many people just blatantly break the law on the road. But yeah, I'd fill a ticket quota easy.
I would too. I see it all the time.
Red
It's like,
light
oh my
red
God.
light running is like a big thing where we're at. It's wild.
Oh,
Like people
same
pushing
here.
people pushing the limit on those yellow lights, speeding up. I'm like, dude, that guy just straight ran a red light. Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's so
there
dangerous.
there are also
Yeah.
a bunch of car crashes around here. And I've heard advice that if a light turns yellow, you actually should go through it so you don't get hit by the person behind you.
I like
Apparently that happens relatively often around here.
That's
So
wild.
for here, it's like if the light turns amber, and you're going fast enough, you're supposed to just go through it because it would be too dangerous for you to slam on your brakes to stop.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then-
Yeah.
this one's even like if you're relatively gentle braking, you should probably just go through it. If you
That's why
can't just
there's the
coast to
delay.
a stop.
If you notice, traffic lights aren't supposed to go, red to immediately green. There's supposed to be a few seconds where
Yeah.
everyone's red for that very reason.
It's true. It's true. Well, speaking of speeding, you know what you can do to help us out in trying to take over the world of podcasts, of gaming podcasts and Nintendo podcasts, is you can speed on down to leave us a review. 5-star reviews. 5-star reviews help us get seen by more people, and it helps us in the search algorithms and makes us feel good about ourselves. So we appreciate everybody who's left us a 5-star review. We have 65 5-star reviews on Apple and 62 on Spotify. So we're cruising up there. We're close to 100. So please help us out. If you haven't already, leave us a 5-star review. All right, gentlemen, we have a lot to cover tonight. So what do you say we jump into we jump into it, and let's get to the first segment of our show. Let's talk what you playing. Barry, as our guest, we'll let you go first. What have you been playing lately?
I've been playing the Atelier Riser series, where I did the first one last year, and I just did 2 in about 2 weeks because I wanted to play 3, and I started 3. I'm really early in 3, and it's I'm not so sure like it's the best of the series or the worst of the series because it's different. If you've never played these games, they're JRPGs that involve alchemy and crafting, very crafting focused. And the first game, it's very structured. You're learning the characters and this whole world that you're involved in. The second game takes you away from that to a brand new area in the world with just references to the first game. And the third game brings you back to the area where you were in the first game, but now in like higher HD. It's open world. There's no zone transitions. And for me, like the controls just feel like almost a little loose. It's like almost like I'm running too fast and like I turn on a dime. And so it's kind of a little jarring and I'm getting used to it. And they also added this big like open area where you can, just explore different islands, like almost like Wind Waker, where you could ride dolphins and just like zip line to different islands, and it's really cool. I'm still getting used to the controls, but it's definitely something I do enjoy. I love the story, and I love that the characters like reference the older games, and you see them as they age. My only biggest problem, I should say, is that it's all in Japanese. It's English text, but they were like, oh, this game isn't going to be gangbusters in America, so Koei Tecmo was like, we're not gonna redub it. We're just gonna just gonna do the subtitles. But it is a lot of fun, and it's my first Altair game. And if you're interested in that style, or this sounds interesting to you, I definitely recommend it. All 3 games are on the Switch. They all just got reprints. They're on PlayStation and as well, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've heard that it's really cool. Over at PSVG, the Bland Explosion, Dr. Bland is a big fan of the Atelier Ryza series and has played through like all of them. And there's a new one coming out? Is that the new one that you're playing?
Ryza 3 just launched. Yeah,
Yeah.
launched in March.
Okay.
But it's the end of the Ryza series. It's a trilogy. The next, Atelier will be a new character. It's like a long-running series. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, and I know that it was coming out soon because we do the Fantasy Critic League, and our friends over at All In Podcast picked that one because it's a safe pick because it usually scores high as a series, like
That's
in the mid 80s.
that makes sense.
Pretty
I
good.
wonder what it's doing on Metacritic.
Yeah. Any other games you want to shout out?
So yeah, it's got an 86. I'll do the Ryza 3, 84, 86.
Yeah, we need some people to go out and rate that lower, so that our score is better. Just kidding.
But no, I mean the other games I've been playing mainly, just in terms of hype, is the games where we talk about later for premium. I went back and I've been playing them some more, just really get into the mood, and I'm so excited about them.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll talk about those later in the episode when we get into the news segment here. Micah, what have you been playing?
Mostly I've been playing Phoenix Rising, since I want to kind of beat it early enough that I have a little bit of a break before Tears of the Kingdom as another open world game. So I'm trying to get through that pretty quick, but I've really been enjoying it.
It sounds like you're gearing up for Tears of the Kingdom pretty well. And we're going to talk about that more later as well. Myself, I played some Spelunky, and I played.
What a shock!
Yeah, what a shock! And I played some Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Been playing that with my son. I really like it. I think it's a great game. Probably the peak of 2D Kirby in just like graphically, gameplay wise. There's just a lot to it, and the music, the soundtrack to that game is incredible. It's really good. Yeah, no complaints. I thought maybe I wouldn't like the art style as much as the original because I played it on the Wii, and this one definitely has a more stylized look, but it fits and it looks good. Can I say though that I'm not a fan of new King DDD design?
No,
They made him look less jolly and more bad guy.
that didn't phase me.
Yeah, I don't like it. Although Buff King DDD is pretty funny in Star Allies.
Oh yeah.
so there is that. I guess we did get that. It works really well. His new look works really well for what is the 3D Kirby game that is on Switch? I don't remember what it's called. Kirby
Forgotten Kingdom.
The Forgotten, yeah. The Forgotten Kingdom. Forgotten Lands? Is it Forgotten Lands? That sounds right.
I want to say Lands. Sounds
and
right.
It looks really cool in that, and he's also huge in that game. So, yeah, anyways, it's a great game. If you were on the fence on that one, is because it's a remake, it's good. It's good, and that's what I've been playing this week. Well, with that, let's jump on into the meat of the episode. It's the Nintendo news. There was a new Zelda trailer, and it was awesome. It was so cool. What were your guys' thoughts? Micah, I guess I'll turn it over to you first. Barry went first last.
I thought it was real good, and they did show off a little bit of what was kind of like giant robot fighting almost.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
I
oh,
was like,
that was
that's exactly what I wanted, but even bigger. I want more.
yeah. It
It
also
seems
looked
like
so.
I don't know how well that could even work. It's
No,
just
it
a
was
big block of
yeah, it was like
an
a block
arm
on
thing
wheels,
swinging.
and that one arm that was like punching. It's like this. There's no way that's gonna work very well, but it was cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Makes me excited for the possibilities with that. What did you think of Ganondorf? I thought you'd be hyped for that.
Oh yeah, I was pumped. I'm a big fan of Ganondorf as an enemy, so I'm excited
Yeah.
to see what he's going to be like in this.
Well, apparently he's gonna be extra
Oh,
hot.
he's angry.
He was they made him like buff, and there was a bunch of fan art when Ganondorf, when it first showed dehydrated Ganondorf in the trailer, and they're like, this is Ganondorf rehydrated, and they always made him like crazy buff and good looking, and then he actually looks like that. It's like I thought it was that was like all.
Ganondorf is always very good looking.
It was funny to me that they just sort of just were like, yeah, that's what he looks like. He's just gonna be kind of like a buff dude that's shirtless. He's got kind of the toga. Barry, what'd you think of the trailer?
I loved it. It was everything I wanted. They kept so much close to their chest, almost to launch, and it's so crazy how little we truly knew about the game, and still know about the game leading into the launch of this, which is wild. But I think they gave just enough of a tease on different elements to whet the appetite, and seeing things like Ganondorf, seeing things like what appears to be dungeons, just the crazy antics, the scope of the world just in that opening shot with Link falling. It's just incredible. It's not like the sky's going to be like five little islands. It's like a whole new overworld just in the sky and on top of what's changed below. I think there's a lot of ambitions, and I hope that after this trailer, people stop saying this is just DLC, because it's clearly not. This is clearly a brand new game.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I could go off on a whole side tangent here, but I saw a really good video essay on this. It was like people comparing God of War and God of War Ragnarok, and people comparing Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and how it's just like and it said, "Hey, if you're going to hate, be consistent." Like people loved that game and they reused so much of the map. And it's like very similar, a AAA title following up a very popular AAA title. It's okay. It's okay if they reuse stuff. It's not going to be, this isn't just DLC. Clearly it's not.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
definitely
like,
not.
after they showed like the 10-minute gameplay and they showed off a bunch of stuff, and then there's like a just under 4-minute trailer. There was a surprising amount of new stuff they showed off in this that I wasn't really expecting. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's just a ton of other stuff that we have no idea about. So I'm really excited.
Anything that you guys noticed in the trailer? For me, I was really hyped to see the wingsuit. It's shown for just a split
With the
second.
lasers.
Like, yeah, it pulls.
I wonder if that's just a different looking glider you can use.
Yeah, I don't know. And partner characters, like companions that travel with you. It appears so. There's like at least there are parts that are shown in the trailer where Sidon, Prince Sidon, is with you and fighting alongside you, and that's like actual gameplay fighting, not like a cutscene. And then also some with
that might just be for certain areas, kind of a thing.
Using my research antennas here, the new champion from Breath of the Wild, Tiba, his son Tulin is the partner bird character that was shown in the trailer.
The
Rito, yeah. Bird character. Yeah. All that research antenna, and I call it bird character. Yeah. And there was also there was a new race. That was uh,
Yeah,
which I assume is the Zonai that they've been
yeah, that's
teasing.
my guess, but I have no idea. So
Also, it looked like the world was much more populated now. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, Breath of the Wild was kind of empty and barren, and a few people here and there." But for the most part, it was like an empty world. And this looks like civilization has come back, and
Hmm.
society is building back up. So there'll be a lot more characters to interact with.
And there was multiple scenes of Link fighting alongside villagers that were fighting big groups, not just like the one-offs, which does happen in Breath of the Wild. If there be travelers and they'll sometimes be attacked by bokoblins, you can save them. There was a section where there was tons of villagers all fighting bokoblins, and Link is riding and spinning his spear around. And,
real fancy looking spear.
yeah, so that was cool.
But the best part was definitely the shield sword.
Yeah, yeah, that was cool. I was like, that is it looks like it auto parries when you hit.
I have no idea,
Oh.
but it's awesome.
Yep. Bear Maximum says thought it was interesting that he's going back to the classic green. Yeah, that is interesting, but it's not like the classic. He doesn't have the pointy hat. But I'm sure that will be an outfit that you can get. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have all the same amiibo outfits.
Probably. And you know what? I hope they bring those back because I thought that was really cool. My
Mm-hmm.
biggest complaint about Breath of the Wild truly is that they had all those great outfits and all this cool throwbacks and all this gear, but they actually didn't give you enough inventory space to have it all, even when you upgraded fully. Like, if you have the max upgrade, you can't actually have all the DLC outfit or the amiibo outfits plus all the gear in the game. It's just not enough space. And you have to put stuff in your house and there's all
Yeah.
these compromises. And I'm like, you know what? If you're gonna give us 20 pieces or 30 pieces or 40 pieces of gear in the game, give us the inventory to hold set amount of gear, especially when some of that gear, yes, it comes from amiibo. We have to remember we had to buy those amiibo. So we paid for that stuff. You
Right.
really should give us the inventory space to hold what we pay extra for.
Yeah. 100%. I'm really hopeful that the inventory is not tied to Korok seed
Oh, God.
searching. As cool as it is to have that bonus to look around, it was too much, especially for completionists. I think 900 Korok seeds. I'm hopeful that that is not how you expand your inventory in this game, and that it's just something you can purchase or I don't know.
Something.
We'll see. They haven't really shown Koroks or
Well, they've all been found, canonically that you found
yeah.
them all already. So.
And what about shrines? They didn't show. They haven't shown any shrines
Something that looked like a shrine, possible, or at least the lights of the shrine in the trailer.
giant orb in the sky that Link was flying over, like a Death Star looking thing. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the ones in the sky says the Bear Maximum. Yeah, there was also what looks like the big mazes. What are those called?
Labyrinth.
The labyrinth. Thank you. The labyrinths are raised up into the sky. That's interesting. Cool. I'm excited. There's a lot you can break down with this trailer, but we won't spend too much more time talking about it here. Everybody should check out the trailer. I have a reaction to it up on my YouTube channel. Yeah, it blew my mind. It was really cool. Micah, you want to take the next news item?
Yep. Nintendo's winding down operations in Russia and says it is not affiliated with the local boss import business.
Local bosses import. Yeah, so the Nintendo the Nintendo representative president in Russia had opened his own separate import business that was doing some distribution of Nintendo games because there's a ban in Russia for by Nintendo as a company to sell games there, and they are winding down business operations there. So this is a major bummer for anybody in Russia that is a Nintendo fan. The birthplace of Tetris, man. That's sad times. So hopefully, geopolitical stuff eases up and people can get back to what makes what makes humanity great, and that's video games. It's one of those things where it's like Nintendo and a love of entertainment and those types of things can really overcome a lot of boundaries, I think, and feel. So people from all uh, different cultures, political spheres, backgrounds, rich or poor, everybody can enjoy Mario. It's just something that's like unifying, and so it's a bummer to see that separation happening, but at the same time, understandable given the climate of things. Yeah. Next news item. We'll just move on from that. We're not a show that is equipped to talk about Russia. But we are equipped to talk about Pokemon Stadium, which is now available for NSO if you have the expansion pack for NSO. And it's Pokemon Stadium. Is good game.
Minus the ability to bring in your own Pokemon.
Yeah, which is kind of garbage. The Pokemon that you get with the movesets that are built in, not the best. So it's like,
didn't they add all 151 in this version that you could
think
pick?
so, but you still don't get to like choose their moves and stuff from what I remember. But I haven't tried it yet, so I can't speak from experience. I've seen some people streaming it, and they're like, yeah, these Pokemon are kind of trash. Yeah. Yep. Micah.
Speaking of yep, Nintendo's announced the first U.S. Nintendo Live to be held in Seattle this September.
Now this is
months after I move away.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. It's like we both, Micah and I, grew up in Seattle, and then we move away, and now live Nintendo events gonna be held there. It's a bummer. But this seems to be, to me, this seems kind of in the wake of the cancellation of E3. It's also the year that they're like, all right, it's time for us to do our own event. Barry, what do you think of this? This is right up your alley. You're the event guru here.
And we actually had quite a long conversation last night with Nintendo dads about this. But my advice to everybody is to temper expectations. This is Nintendo Live in Japan has never announced anything at all. This could go from nothing but just some live music and kiosks to play Tears of the Kingdom and Pikmin 4 to having a Nintendo Direct stream live to having, Doug Bowser walking on stage and pulling out a Switch 2 from his jacket pocket with girls walking down the aisles with Switch 2s handcuffed to them so that the people in the audience can play. It could go any
That
range
is a
of
weird way to
gambit.
do that. But yeah,
Well, they did it for the 3DS, remember? That's
Did they?
exactly what they did with the 3DS.
I don't remember that, but that's
Really?
hilarious.
Yeah, at E3,
don't
Reggie
remember it.
pulled out a 3DS and on stage talking about it, and then after the presentation, because it was a live presentation, they had like 100 girls walking down the aisle in the the theater with 3DSs handcuffed to them, so that people can try the 3DS right there immediately after the showcase.
Nope. Yeah. No memory of that.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Look
I feel
it
like
up.
I should remember that. Yeah,
it was 2010, right? I think it was E3 2010 when they did that. Yeah.
Oso says, thanks for not getting us hyped, Barry.
Well, I said
you're like,
it's
temper
arranged.
Expectations, but we could see Switch 2.
We could. It's all about that. Have your tempered expectations. Most likely, knowing Nintendo, it's going to be on it's kiosks to play Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, probably New Super Mario U or Mario Odyssey or something like that. Mario Kart 8, of course. And then some live music, and maybe Doug Bowser will make an appearance and just say, thank you all for coming. Hope you've all enjoyed playing video games together. Enjoy your fall. That's probably what it's going to be.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, I imagine this to be more of a in-person event than like a place to announce things. It's still really cool, and I think would be really cool to attend. But we'll see. We'll see as it comes closer. In Japan, it always looks like it's a really cool event. It at least has really cool displays and things for people to look at. Yeah. And Micah and I can go and ask the question, like, how fast do you think we'd have to run to steal that statue that we did in New York when we went to the store?
Well, you're talking about stealing the statue? That's kind of weird.
Oh, that gold Mario statue that we were like, if both of us grabbed this and just ran as fast as we could, they couldn't stop us, right? Like we could have this.
I have no memory of talking about potentially stealing things.
Well, it's very maybe I made it up. I'm projecting onto you, but it feels very in line with your personality. Maybe just
It sounds like something I would potentially say not recorded, where police could use it against me.
True. Hey, if anything goes missing from the Nintendo store, it was not us. We are no longer there.
Sure, a likely story.
Well,
Pulled in my green screen, the Statue of Liberty is right behind me.
the one from Las Vegas.
Yeah.
The little mini one. Next news item. The Mario movie has the highest opening weekend for an animated movie, beating out Frozen 2 with a 375 million plus sales in the first 5 days. And it is on track to be, it's already just breaking records left and right. It's the best-selling video game-based movie. It's
best-selling movie with Mario in it.
Yeah, best-selling movie with Mario. That's not 100% true. I think I don't know if the numbers have updated yet, but it was on track to pass World of Warcraft.
Oh, it did. It's over 500 million now.
Okay.
It has.
Because Warcraft had like a pretty
400
high
something million.
So we're over 500 million. Let's get this thing up to what's the highest?
Like 1.6 billion, I think.
Yep. Highest grossing anime movie of all time, which Barry and I talked about last time we talked.
Yeah.
That was like the whole topic of the Pals Plus episode. We just need to dethrone the Lion King remake. That does not deserve to be up there. That doesn't count as an animated movie in my mind.
Yeah, to me, it's a live action.
Yeah. But I think we're on track. I mean, opening weekend beat out Frozen 2, which is the number 2 movie, best-selling animated movie of all time.
I do wonder what kind of legs this Mario movie will have, though. Because, I mean, I feel a lot of diehard fans will watch it, but I'm not quite sure how many more casual people will keep watching it in the upcoming months.
Well, how many repeat viewers do you think come for animated movies in theaters? I don't project like a lot do because it's kind of for children, for families, and I mean maybe other families have a lot more financial they're more financial stability than me, but I think that
I mostly mean I not too surprised it had like a really big opening weekend because there are a lot of like diehard Mario fans that are all going to theaters. But I mean, the more casual people are like, oh, I don't need to see it opening week or upcoming weeks, so I'll just wait for like a good time. I wonder if there are as many of those as there were for like apparently The Lion King, which doesn't have the best opening weekend, but still is the highest grossing.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Movie.
Yeah. Will it have legs of people coming in? I think based off of how strong the opening weekend was, it might, because word of mouth for this movie has been very positive. Everybody I have talked to that has watched this movie liked it, with the exception of one person who is in chat. But that person says this movie will break $1 billion. The bare maximum in chat. $1 Mario-illion, says Monkey Thunder. Yeah, true. I'm all for it. I want it to be the best, the highest grossing animated movie of all time.
Let's do it.
Mostly because I'm upset that the Lion King remake is. It's spiteful, but it's good, and it's a good movie. And that's all we got for Mario movie news. So, Micah, you want to take this next one? I kind of covered both these points here, so you can.
Yeah, speaking of being done with Mario news, the Great Plateau 2.0.
The Great Plateau 2.0? You like mix those? The Great Plateau The Great
It's
Plateau.
called a buzzword.
Oh,
Plateau.
Oh.
Plateau.
How dare you ruin my great line? I'm so offended. But the Great Plateau point oh has been confirmed from the official game website, which says Link begins his journey on one of the many mysterious floating islands that have suddenly appeared in the skies high above Hyrule. It's there our hero will have to gain new abilities before returning to the surface world to begin his epic adventure. So I guess you can't just like aim for the bushes. You jump off.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, you lose your glider or something, and they're like, "We'll only give it back if you complete these 4 ability shrine things."
So what I want to know is how long before someone figures out a way to sequence break and get down to the surface earlier than intended.
Yeah, if it's anything
I
like
wonder, but no one's done it in Breath of the Wild, right?
right, if it's anything like Breath of the Wild, you can't because it's just it. They've programmed it where before you get glider, you cannot leave the plateau. Like it's just all dead
There
zone.
might be some exploit or something, but I
That would
imagine it'd
be
be pretty similar.
yeah. I'm gonna guess, but even with that, you could get technically off the Great Plateau. There were certain spots where you could survive landing in water and things, but as soon as you travel like 10 feet, you hit the kill Link zone, and he'll just die. Like you'll just be walking, and then he'll just just keel over dead. So I assume it's gonna be the same, but maybe not. Great Plateau too. I think
Yeah, I would enjoy seeing people just somehow bomb launch themselves to other islands.
we haven't even confirmed if we're gonna have ruins like we did in like the Sheikah Slate ruins. They haven't shown bombs at all, or stasis or magnesis.
I'm sure that's coming back. Well, they did. They showed something in the trailer where like a projectile was thrown at Link and he like stopped it and immediately reversed it.
That's the
Yeah,
rewind or
that's
recall, I think they call
recall
it.
ability.
Recall, yeah.
Yeah, one of the new abilities.
It's kind of similar to stasis.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah, so I'm wondering the Sheikah Slate was in the trailer briefly. I watched the whole thing at 0.25 speed because I'm a psychopath, one of those kind of guys, and yeah, there's a point where he is holding the Sheikah Slate, so it's there. Will he have the runes? I don't know. I feel like these new abilities are sort of replacing it, so bomb launching won't be a thing, but hopefully BLSS will still be a thing. Super slide.
100
Fly.
rockets to your person and then
Yeah,
fly through the
you
air.
don't even need it anymore. We just get a rocket. I forgot about the rocket. Okay. Super cool. Okay, we've got some Splatoon news. A lot of Splatoon news. First off, transitioning from Great Plateau, it's a Zelda themed Splatfest. We've been talking about this for a while. I think Monkey Thunder called this specifically. It is May 5th. Is that when it is?
I think that's when it starts.
Okay, so Splatfest starting
To the
May
7th or
5th.
something.
And the options are courage, wisdom, and power. What are you going with, guys?
I'm leaning towards wisdom.
I'm courage.
I'm courage. It's green. Green's my favorite.
Same.
And so, yeah, there you go. Oh, there's wisdom? That was the farthest I would have picked for you. That would have been last.
Then potentially power, and then
Yeah,
courage.
I would have gone power, courage, wisdom for Micah, but
it's like you don't even know.
It's like
he's
I don't
playing
even know
4D chess with you. Okay, that's the wisdom right there.
Yeah, there you go. Along with that, there's going to be an extra work event that runs from April 14th to the 16th. So starting today as the date of recording. So I guess it'll be done by the time this goes live. Now that I'm saying this out loud.
Unfortunate we didn't realize that last week.
And it's all about collecting them golden eggs. This is for Salmon Run, I'm assuming, Micah?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
A fancy salmon run. I mean, I think it's sort of like the big run ish, in that you compete to try and get the most golden eggs, but it looks like you'll have 5 waves instead of 3, and it sounds like they are all the exact same scenario.
Okay. That's cool.
So like, there's no randomness to it. You don't have to play a million times to get like the perfect RNG to get the most golden eggs. Everyone has the same scenario, I think. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. So that's our Splatoon news. Excited for that. I'm pumped for the Zelda Splatfest. That'll be fun. I really do wonder how it's going to go, because I feel like
I
it's going
hear
to be
there's
pretty even.
I hear there's actually a fancy stage just for it that looks like a Triforce. The layout of it.
Oh, that's interesting.
I assume that will be for the tricolor or something. I'm not quite sure where that will be used.
That's such a good idea. A Triforce for the
Yeah.
Tricolor tournament. Yeah.
But then it would probably go away after that. So
Yeah, probably.
sucks.
Sad. Well, our last news item here, we're going to toss it over to Barry, who's going to tell us about the latest. I think you guys call it the Spring Direct. I typed it
Mhm.
into the notes as Sprung for some
I
reason.
saw that. I
That's
did
a
notice that.
typo on my part. Spring Direct from Premium Edition Games, where Barry is one of the leading members of Premium Edition Games. Which, for those that don't know, I guess explain. I'll turn it to you. You can explain what Premium Edition Games
Oh
is.
no,
And
I wanted to hear you
oh,
explain
okay.
it.
So Premium Edition Games does prints of games that are typically going to only receive digital distribution. So physical prints and loot and merch goodies, all for games that otherwise wouldn't be able to. So a lot of indie titles, uh, uh, like indie titles that you guys have covered a wide spectrum. Some that have been featured in Nintendo Directs, and so yeah, Premium Edition works as like a distributor that physically prints games and all of the stuff for games to be sold for collectors. I hope I
Not
did
bad.
a good job. Did I do
No,
a good job
you
there?
did it. You did a good job. We're a physical publisher, not a distributor.
I'm
Um,
yes, not a distributor, a publisher. Dang it!
so close.
This is why they don't
You
pay me the
tried
big
your
bucks over
best.
there.
But yeah, you're right. So we take digital only titles and we put out high quality physical releases. We do Switch. We also do PlayStation 4 and 5 that we just started doing now, and we do classic series. We do the like the Nintendo Entertainment System, because even after all these years, there's still brand new aftermarket games being released for Nintendo's little gray toaster,
That's because
and
that little gray toaster still works.
still works.
And those
Still works. No online needed. No DLC. No update patches. None of that. So yeah. So we just did our spring direct. These are always fun to do and a lot of work. A lot of work. A lot of time. A lot of crunch. So I definitely have to give shout out to one of our designers, Tristan, who put this direct together. Did an exceptional job. And he his wife too for allowing him to do this. This was a lot to put together, and I was with him the whole time trying to help out, because I always try to make the directs fun and easygoing and easy for the editor to put it together. So, but he went above and beyond. He added some bells and whistles I wasn't expecting. So, yeah, I was gonna do a quick shout out to him because he knocked it out of the park. But we always try to have
yeah.
fun.
I was just gonna say, so our podcast here is by no means a replacement for this amazing video. Everybody should go watch it. A link to it will be in the description of the podcast episode for those listening or watching on YouTube, Spotify, or any other podcast listening app. Go check it out. The trailers for these games, a lot of heart and work goes into these, and it turned out amazing. I gotta say, I also gotta shout out how great it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we always try and get the developers involved and let them get messages out there, because we feel so many people have no idea who makes the games they love. Especially these indie teams, these passion project teams. They don't really get a voice, and we want to give them a voice. We want to give them a platform to really get a message out there. So we try and incorporate them whenever they're available. So we announced several games, two brand new ones for the Switch coming very very soon for pre-order. The first of which is coming next week for pre-order, is Super Dungeon Maker. All this Zelda hype This is the Zelda maker that Nintendo never gave us. This is literally everything you could want pretty much from any Zelda style maker. You could make ridiculously big dungeons. You could do 7-floor dungeons. You can, have them as complicated or as simple as you want. You could do triggers where like you walk in and enemies spawn. You could have items spawn when the enemies die. You could place treasure chests and whatever's in there, including enemies. You could put bosses wherever you want. You could do boss key doors. You could do doors that open when all the enemies die. It's really whatever you want. And each of the rooms, unlike like Link's Awakening, which did something very similar, those were all square pre-made rooms you had to work with. This is you draw the room. You can make it a diamond. You can make it a U. You can make it a T. Whatever shape you want. And I think that's really cool because it doesn't limit the creativity. And this game does not even out digitally yet. It comes out digitally May 3rd, but it's been out for over a year in early access on Steam. So the cool thing about this game is not only
Uh-oh. Did we lose? Did I lose internet?
creative these people are. You could do like the sliding ice block
All right,
puzzles.
gentlemen, I am sorry. The internet just cut out. Right. So, um,
Uh,
so we're back. We're back, and I think everything is live, and you guys are back. I'm back in the call.
Yeah, I get that there was a network error.
Yeah. It should be working now though. Discord's
That'd be good.
reopened up. You guys are back.
I hear you, but it
Cool.
says offline.
Hasn't reconnected on
Twitch is still
reconnected. Just got the alert.
Oh.
Okay, apologies.
Welcome back. We are back. I blame Andross for that. But no, like you can pretty much just have infinite Zelda with this game, and that's the coolest thing for me. Is I'm such a Zelda fan, and when we had the opportunity to work with them, we're like, oh, this is great. What an opportunity. So that goes up next Monday. That is our first game up from this series. In 2 more weeks after that, our second game goes up, a game called Wife Quest. This game is from East Asia Soft and Pippin Games. This is a game where it's a retro 2D platformer action adventure with RPG elements where you play Mia, the titular wife, whose husband gets kidnapped by all the other monsters that want your husband, Fernando. So you've got to go on this quest to rescue your husband, and you are pissed. So one unique thing this game allows you to do is you there's enemies, of course, different creatures that to kill, but you don't have to stop there. You can actually go further and do a finishing move on every single enemy, and that includes like choking them or ripping their wings off or stomping on their backs, and it's all very comedic. It's all cartoon, but it is hilarious just because you play these like action platformers, and there's always that enemy that gets you or knocks you into the pit, and you're like, oh, you come back really angry. This allows you to really really take it out on them.
It's
It's
God of War, but with wives.
yeah, it's a cartoon God of War.
Yeah.
The bosses are very very challenging. These bosses surprised me with how tough they are, and it's like Mega Man. When you beat a boss, you get their power. So you can go back into levels to 100% it. There's a progression system. You get coins. You can do permanent upgrades. So your sword eventually gets like Strider level, where you have like this big wave going across the screen. And you have this shields and you have wings to float and a bunch of different power ups. It's a blast to play. I actually played this for review with Nintendo Fuse, and after I beat the second level, I picked up the phone and I called East Asia Soft, and I said, we want to do this game. Like we need codes for the rest of the team, but this is a game we want to do. It is that good, and I do recommend everyone check this out. It is so much fun, and there's a bonus mode, a magical mode when you beat the game where you could play through again like fully powered up. There's a bonus like 8-bit style mini game adventure you can go through. It's just a lot of unlockables. So I highly recommend that. That's going up in 2 more weeks. After that, 2 more weeks after that, we have an NES game going up. Talking about the NES, we've got Bobby 67, the time traveling detective, where it's your job to go through 7 different time periods to go after the evil half fish, half man creature who is going through time and turning all traffic lights green. That is the big havoc he is causing across time, and it's your job to stop him.
Bobby
Which
67's got to stop those criminals.
it is hilarious. It is funny. It is
great.
a great 2D action platformer, and there's some exclusive stuff that were put into this particular version. So this is one man development, just true passion project, and we're really honored to be able to bring over. This is Cal Games. Clay, the developer, did an amazing job with this. Awesome guy. And I highly recommend you check this out. This is what should have been released back in the NES days. This would have fit perfectly
This
in the library.
this to me looked like Contra, but with a more cartoonish art style.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a good description of it, since you would know better than me. But yeah, it looks
I can see that.
really fun. It looks really fun.
Yeah, so this is actually going to be a physical cart. So get out your NES and play this. This is definitely worth your time. And then a couple other things we announced. We announced a game for the future for our Series 7, which is Anuchard. Anuchard is a wonderful Zelda-style action RPG with writing of the equivalent of like the Mother series. Just a lot of fun. This is Freedom Games. We're really happy to be bringing this out. I wish it was part of this series, but we'll just have to wait a little longer for it. But it's absolutely worth the wait. It's a ton of fun. We also gave an update on our Sunshine Anthology, which is coming up. It's our Kickstarter from a couple years ago with Fossil Games, which is 2 games in one. It's Camp Sunshine and Sunshine Manor, 2 horror, 16-bit horror style games. A lot of fun. That's being ported. It's almost done porting. So once it is, we will be able to bring it out physically. And the final game we showed off, which is live right now on Kickstarter. Speaking of Kickstarter, which is Poglings from our good friend Chad Tronic, who this is his dream game, and we've been working with him for a while to assist. He's got a very talented development
I
studio.
didn't realize that was by Chad Tronic. I thought I recognized the guy.
He literally says, "Hi, I'm Chad Tronic."
I didn't hear that.
There's a logo right
I
in
was
the back
watching
that
on.
says Chad
I was
Tronic.
watching on mute. We were podcasting.
There's a logo right in the back. It says Chad Tronic.
Yeah. No, I should have known. I should have. That's awesome.
So yeah, so
but hey, that game looks incredible. That was definitely my hypest looking game announcement. Because the way you described it, it's like if Chow Gardens from which that
Sonic
one
Adventure
Sonic
1 and
game,
2.
yeah, Sonic Adventure, was a full game by itself, and that doesn't just go for like what you do in it. It's like the art style. It's a very well designed 3D animation that you just don't see typically from the indie side of things.
Correct.
So
this is his dream game. He's been working on this for like 5 years, and he came to us, and we were really happy to be working with him. So we've helped him with the Kickstarter, get it up and running, and we got the physical coming out with a Kickstarter exclusive version. It's gonna be the only way to get this version is to back the Kickstarter. We're working with him with the plushie, which is adorable, and that color is going to be exclusive to the Kickstarter too. And then that it's already over 5 times the asking price, and it's got like 26 days remaining, so it's doing extremely well. So check that out. Again, the only way to be able to get the Kickstarter version, but we will have a standard version and a retro edition later on next year when the game is done and ready to go, and we will have more plushies as well. We will have different color plushies. This way, you have a Kickstarter exclusive, and then you have regular. So definitely check that out. Give him some love. He's a great guy, a great friend, and that's available right now as we speak.
Yeah, so it's $212,000 raised out of the $40,000 goal, but like Barry said, yeah, some of these are exclusive rewards to backing the Kickstarter. So if you want those exclusive goodies, which Premium Edition, this is a Kickstarter you can count on because Premium Edition delivers. Like this is like, Kickstarter's kind of renowned for having these sort of ghost projects where people will submit to it and then it will never actually come to fruition. This will come to fruition.
Well, this is why we're not putting a standard version on our website yet. We're going to wait till the game is complete. It's just like Sunshine. We did the Kickstarter a couple of years ago with them, but we're not putting it up on our website until it's ported and done and ready to go, because we don't want to take people's money and then say, thanks for the money, you're going to have to wait till it's done. We want to let people know you can give us your money after it's done. We want to make sure. So the Kickstarter's there. We don't get a dime from the Kickstarter right now. It's not like we're like, we got the money. It's them. They've got it. They're working on it right now. And I have full faith that they will deliver. I know the game is like, I think 60 or 70% done, and the Kickstarter is just enhancing it because there's all these great stretch goals that they keep reaching, and they're just using that to enhance it and finish the game. So we hope to have it done next year. But again, we're not part of the development team. But we look forward very much to getting that in people's hands. It's just an awesome title. And speaking of awesome titles, we did also announce that all of our Series 4 titles are in hand and shipping. You can get them on our website right now, premiumeditiongames.com. That's Rain in Your Parade, that's Wonderling DX, and Rack and Ruin. And our 5th series of titles, which I talked about last time, are in production, and we should have them start going out here, I'd say within a month or two. We're waiting on all the remaining parts to come into our assembly plant because the manuals come from one place, the slipcovers come from another, the carts are from Nintendo. So we're waiting for all the pieces to come in to be assembled, and that's Raji, an Ancient Epic Enhanced Edition, They Bleed Pixels, Love 3, and Eagle Island Twist. So those will be available hopefully soon. We're looking forward to that. And of course, we announced PlayStation. We've got a couple PlayStation games up. We got Phoenotopia Awakening and Music Racer Ultimate up right now for pre-order. Those are in production as well.
There you have it. Everybody needs to go to premiumeditiongames.com. Link to that will be in the description of the podcast as well. Barry, thanks for coming in and sharing everything here. Like I said at the beginning of the explanation, this is not a replacement for the Direct. Go check out the Direct that they put a ton of work into, and check out all these awesome trailers. It's super cool stuff going on over there. With that, I think that wraps up our news segment here. So why don't we jump into the final segment of our show? Let's go to the rumor mill. Alrighty, couple of big rumors here, actually. First, Micah, I'll let you take this one because this is your game.
Yeah, it's another game that you can disappoint me with, I think. But there are rumors.
I told you, and I promise, if this one comes out, I will buy it and play it day one.
Okay.
You hold me to it.
There are rumors of a 1,000-Year Door remake for Switch, which would be pretty awesome, as that is my favorite Mario.
I think it would be pretty awesome because the game is so ridiculously hard to obtain at this point. It falls in the GameCube era where Nintendo hasn't decided it's retro enough to come forward. And GameCube games have just gotten crazy expensive. They're really expensive. To get even a used copy of 1,000-Year Door is like $80+. That was last I checked. It's probably gone up since. And then you also have to have hardware that will play it. It's a hassle, and I really want to play it. So
hardware to play it's easy because you can play it on a Wii, and there was the Wii's are common and cheap.
Yeah, but you got to be careful because I don't remember at what point the Wii stopped coming with the GameCube port.
It was later on in life.
Yeah.
Most of the Wii's
but
have
most of them have it. So just make sure that you've got those GameCube ports, because I was disappointed. I got a Wii that did not have one at one point. So, yeah. And it doesn't come with the Wii Mini, but nobody bought that. So
yeah. The good old
I had
mini.
one. I thought it was cool. And
I have one, but not to use, just to collect.
and then the next news item here. I am hyped about this. Rumors are swirling about Zelda coming to Universal Studios as a theme park. So there was closures of the Lost Continent. These are rides or attractions. Lost Continent and Poseidon's Fury. Now, the reason these rumors are swirling is because Universal, with the success of the Mario movie, has been pretty forward about talking like, yeah, we're looking forward to continuing to work with Nintendo and their IP. We already are seeing the Mario theme park come and the Donkey Kong theme park coming. So a Zelda theme park, that would be pretty cool. Now it is all just rumor, but I'm all for it if it comes. And does this mean we'll see movies and stuff with Harry Potter?
Movies with Harry Potter.
Why did I say Harry
What?
Potter?
I was like, what?
Don't know if you knew this, but they already made movies about Harry Potter. Like 8 of them.
Yeah. Harry Potter movies. It's because they're making a new show, and I was in my brain. I was literally connecting the dots of like, oh, what if they make a Zelda show? I don't want that. I would prefer a movie. I don't want a TV series. I feel like TV series just drag on and they have so much filler and junk. I would just rather have a movie, and I want it to be live action. But
So if they make a movie, obviously Link is gonna have to speak.
no,
So or
Does he
he's
have
just gonna
to?
go,
or
yeah.
or he's a silent
He'll
protagonist.
meow every once in a while,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, what I want to know is, will they? Because the Mario
Chris
movie
Pratt. It's
did.
Chris Pratt, right?
Could be. The Mario movie threw homage to the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Will the Zelda movie contain the "Excuse me, princess"
Oh,
line?
I was hoping that's where you were going.
I hope they do, but it's not Link. It's
No,
somebody
no,
else.
it's got to be Link. It's got to be
No,
Link.
I don't want Link.
The only thing he says in the entire movie.
It's like a post-credit scene. He's silent the whole movie, and then the credits, and then he's like, "Well, excuse me," at the very end.
It would be really wild if he had like, a line just like, "I'm so hungry, I could eat an Octorok."
They gotta put all of these in. I
Well,
wonder
that
what
wasn't maybe-
Ganon's up to.
No.
Oh, classic.
Oh boy.
Classic lines. Yeah, this is why I actually don't want a Zelda movie. Let's not have any Zelda like it's too sacred. I don't want it touched. But
I kind of wanted in the Mario movie when they're sitting at the dinner table them to say, "Oh, you know what? Whatever happened to that idea of you opening up a hotel? Like, yeah, you could have called it Hotel Mario and be like, oh no, that's a dumb idea."
That would
just
have
like
been
throwing
fun.
shade at the CDI game.
Oh, that would have been pretty funny. Yeah, they put the Super Mario Super Show reference was very blatant, and that was really cool. That was super cool to see.
They should have ended with "Do the Mario." Right in the streets of
Do
Brooklyn.
the Mario. Oh yeah. No, instead we ended with Peaches, which pretty good ending as well. Hit top single of the year.
There you go.
2023 Peaches by Jack Black. All right, well, that's it. That's all we got for the rumor mill. And that's going to be about it. A wrap on this episode. So, yeah, let's close out here. Barry, where can people find you on the interwebs?
On the interwebs, well, you can find me over at Twitter at Hawk Hellfire. You could also find me at nintendofuse.com and youtube.com/nintendofuse, where we do our own podcast every other Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And of course, premiumeditiongames.com. You can find us on youtube.com/premiumeditiongames, as well as at Premium Edition 1 on Twitter, everywhere else at Premium Edition Games. Make sure to get your pre-orders in and check out some of our in-stock games right now, and hopefully you enjoy them.
Yes, and links to all of these spots will be available in the episode description. So if you don't want to go in out and search it, just drop on down and click the link. And you can also find links to where you can follow Micah and I. Micah, where can people follow you?
Well, you can find me on Twitch and YouTube at Micah Prime.
And you can find me at Andross1 on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter. Yeah. And we're making stuff there. If you would like to follow the show, Nintendo Pals, just search up Nintendo Pals on any of your podcast listening apps. You'll find us. We're there. We're the top result for Nintendo Pals because we're your Nintendo Pals. Bringing you Nintendo news. Again, huge thanks to Barry Carenza for coming on to the episode. Please, please, please check out his stuff and go support Premium Edition games and these awesome developers. With that, we'll close out here with our Patreon shout out, the Patreon Poke Rap.
We gotta rap some Patreon.
You just do the singing. I'll take care of the hard part.
Let's get it on.
We want to be the best that ever was. And shout out our pals over on Patreon.
LPD, Rizzle, Retrologic Day, U-Dog Gamer, Schlim, Tor, Spanish, and Solo Something, Brian, Little Miss 7, and Cosmic.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon.
K-Mac Katina, Third Strongest One, Tim the Nintendo Daddle, and Seth Sturgis, Monkey Thunder, Purple Yoda, Dat Fast John, and Bubba Plays too.
Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon. Let's get 150 or more, yeah, please. To be a Patreon donor is your destiny.
Thank you all so much for listening, and we will talk to you in the next episode. Bye-bye.